Getting in the trash can, getting ready to go see Infinity War with this guy right here.
He left me alone in the car in this weird ass neighborhood. Don't know how I feel about that. There's a, you can see it, there's a water bottle just sitting there. And that kind of bugs me. Tiny bit. Tiny bit.
Hey everybody, Thrift Shop Gamer here. We are in the trash can.
I'm the Numbertwo Zeldafan. I'm his friend? Accomplice?
Yeah, something like that. That's what we do.
So we just got out of Avengers Infinity War. You guys probably won't see this till Monday night?
Oh, spoilers, and lots of cursing and anger. Just, yeah, forewarning you.
Yeah, lots of spoilers.
Do not watch this if you want to be spoiler-free. Yeah, so, I got this awesome cup. Love it. Won't fit in my fucking cup holder.
It's too big.
Oh, there we go.
So, oh, you got it to fit?
A little bit. Yeah. Anyway.
So what we're going to do for this video is, it's not really going to be a video because we're driving, it's fucking, what, 12:30 at night?
Well, yeah.
12:30 in the morning?
We're about to be driving, but, you know, that's the magic of editing. I'll just put everything over it.
Yeah, so we'll just talk while we drive. We have a little ways to get home. So, yeah, it's a good fucking video. Let's turn this fucking light off.
Yeah, there's a lot to discuss, though. I think we should start... I don't think we should start with the complaints first. I think we should start with the beginning, because I think that was an incredible beginning. Loki dies, fucking Heimdall dies. You know he doesn't, but they want you to think Thor dies, and it's kind of cool, like, action from the beginning. And all the way throughout.
There's actually quite a bit of light here. I actually kind of like the way Loki died. He tried betraying Thanos, and it didn't work so well.
The moment I saw the dagger appear, I'm like, you know that's not going to work, right? And lo and behold, it didn't fucking work. However, I gotta give him some props. These people are running the light. Anyway, I gotta give Loki some props because he did at least try. He's showing his semi-good side.
And by semi-good side, we mean his fucking stupid side, because he, of all people, should have known that it wouldn't have worked, especially since he literally just watched Thanos hand the fucking Hulk its ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Of all things, like, you just watched the Hulk get its shit pushed in.
Yeah, remember when he got thrown around, when Loki got thrown around by the Hulk? Well, that's now...
That's basically what happened to the Hulk.
Around. Yeah.
That's what happened to the Hulk. So he just saw the Hulk get his shit wrecked, and he was like, all right, now I'm going to try. And he obviously didn't win. Heimdall also died. He mentioned that he died after he sent the Hulk back to Earth. I'm going to put my seatbelt on because I don't want that fucking alarm going off.
Yeah, it's going to go off soon.
Let's just pause this for a second. We are sitting at the longest red light ever. This is excruciating. It's insane. So immediately after, okay, so I'm trying to remember exactly what order the movie happened in. So after he was thrown to Earth, Hulk crashed in the Sanctum Sanctorum. You all saw it from the trailer. Oh, it's starting to turn.
Oh, yeah.
And he meets up with Doctor Strange and Wong.
Well, Heimdall dies right after his last hurrah from Hell's Heart I Stab at Thee and rolls the Hulk away.
Yeah, and yeah, we already mentioned that. So Heimdall dies. Hulk gets sent to Earth. He crashes as Bruce Banner in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Is that the right way to say it? I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in from this movie.
He meets up with Doctor Strange and Wong, who are in the middle of having a sandwich discussion, and then they quickly... Doctor Strange just kind of kidnaps Iron Man, Tony Stark, sort of, in the middle of a baby discussion.
Yeah, well, I was kind of excited when I saw Gwyneth Paltrow there, because I'm like, oh, hey, maybe she'll actually play a part for, well, in this case, it was all but like 30 seconds, a little bit more than that, but whatever. And Tony Stark just gets done promising, oh, there's gonna be no more surprises. Well,
boom,
surprise,
Tony Stark, you're coming with me. I'm Doctor Strange. I'm a wizard.
And he goes, who the fuck are you? And then Banner walks out, and he's like, oh, hello.
This might be pretty important.
Yeah.
So they go talk a bit about Thanos. Banner freaks out, as he usually does, and then stuff happens. The giant ring from all the trailers, it's actually some kind of ship. It reminded me a bit of the wheel bike that General Grievous used in the third Star Wars film.
Yeah, there you go.
Revenge of the Sith. It kind of reminded me of that a bit in some way. But anywho, so...
Well, there apparently were a bunch of them, too. Because
yeah, there were a few of them.
You see the one get ripped apart.
Yeah. So... Yeah, so there's a fight happens. Two of Thanos' minions, whose names I didn't catch, show up. They start wrecking shit. Spider-Man shows up to help out the fight. And then Doctor Strange gets knocked out and kidnapped by one of the dudes.
Well, I thought it was kind of amusing, too, that he didn't think, Spider-Man, Tom Holland, as the character, he did not think about what would happen about being launched into the air that high into the atmosphere, till Stark's kind of like, yeah, there's not air here, buddy. He goes, oh, yeah. And then he just, like, throws the suit at him. And it just works, and I thought that was kind of cool. The whole nanotechnology thing, there's so many like big concepts thrown at you in such simple ways.
Yeah, the nano suit really was not explained at all. It just kind of happened. What else? Well,
they kind of allude to more shit because Gwyneth Paltrow, when she's there, when Pepper's there talking to him, she's like, oh yeah, you didn't need to do this, poking at his shirt, well, his coat, which I want, by the way. And nice all this, and that's kind of what Tony does. He works on a whole bunch of shit in between, so I'm chalking it up to that.
Now, the movie jumps around a lot, so we're also going to jump around. I don't remember the exact order in which all of the scenes take place, even though we just sat down and watched it. We just got out of the theater.
But there's a lot to take in.
There was a lot there. I'm
seriously going to have to watch this. You and I are going to have to sit down and do another, like, more thorough review of this after we watch this at least 3 or 4 more dozen times.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go back and see that again. So yeah, there was a lot to take in. The Guardians of the Galaxy. Ooh, that's a bright fucking light.
Yeah, ow.
Blinded me. The Guardians of the Galaxy. They stumble upon Thor's body.
Well, they go into the area and there's just dead bodies everywhere.
Except Thor.
Except Thor. Thor's the one that just so happens to flop onto their windshield. Rocket freaks out. Oh, get it off.
And there's a wonderful exchange. This is not a dude. This is a man. A beautiful, muscular man.
You were a dude. This is a man.
Yeah, so I thought that was great.
Stop petting his muscles.
Yeah, stop petting his muscles. It's like a pirate had sex with an angel. There was it was a lot of funny exchanges. Good luck, morons. We're not going to break down the movie because we're not critics. We don't do that. No. We're also really bad at it.
Oh yeah, this is just fun.
This is just us fucking around. But this is recording, right? Okay, thank God.
Oh yeah, that would suck if it wasn't. Anyway, so Thor shows up again, and you're like, oh, okay, he's not dead. We didn't, we expected him to not be completely dead, and so that happens, and he literally just comes in and takes things. Like, Quill's there standing freaking out, like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, that's my food. No, it's mine now. That's my backpack. I don't care. What are you doing? I'm taking your pod.
I'm the captain. No, you're not.
And somehow Rocket Raccoon becomes the captain.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Yeah. And then there's the whole thing with the Collector, and I don't remember if that was right after that or not, but there's a whole thing with the Collector because they talk for a little bit and they're like, okay, Thanos bad, this is what happens, makes Quill promise, swear on his mother's former life, that he would kill her if Thanos gets her, which he actually does not break that promise. No. They're in that whole scenario, and the whole thing plays out, and Gamora, quote-unquote, kills Thanos, which obviously is not going to... Yeah, it's obviously not going to be that easy.
That's the first of 2 freakouts, by the way. We're going to jump around for a bit. Yeah. There were 2 fake-outs, at least 2, right? There were at least 2 fake-outs. Gamora stabs an illusion of Thanos in the chest.
The throat, I thought.
Well, she stabs him in the throat, and then she stabs him in the chest with the dagger. Because there was a flashback sequence where Thanos gives baby young Gamora a dagger, and then she uses that dagger to stab Thanos. She thought she killed real Thanos. It was an illusion.
And speaking of that flashback, I thought it was kind of gruesome to see the massacre.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
And how she just kind of stands there. She's there, and he comes up, oh, who are you, child? And a little dialogue takes place. He gives her this knife, and they start to mow down the crowd. And Thanos is just like, no.
Hey, don't watch that.
Don't watch that.
Anywho, so later on in the movie, there's a second fake out where Thor, with his brand new kick-ass axe hammer thing, stabs Thanos in the chest, despite Thanos hitting him with the force of all the Infinity Stones. Yeah, it's really at the end, and he just, boom, right in the fucking chest. And Thanos looks like he's about to die, and then he's like, you should have hit me in the head, and then he vanishes, and the movie basically ends at that point. Now, there's a lot of cool stuff throughout the movie itself. There's a lot of cool, action scenes. This was a really action-packed film. There wasn't a whole lot of downtime.
Yeah.
A lot of other Marvel movies have a slow intro.
Yes.
Iron Man had a slow intro.
Oh my God, yeah.
Doctor Strange had a agonizingly slow intro.
Oh my God, yeah.
Spider-Man had a slow intro.
Sort of.
Thor had a slow intro.
Oh, yeah.
But this movie, there was no intro. It was, the battle with Thanos started right away. He was within, first 5 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, basically every character gets introduced. It's like, okay, this is where these guys are, and there's a fight.
Yeah.
And that's where these guys are, and there's a fight.
They also had a title screen drops for a few places. Most notably, space.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know what space was, there was, at one point in the movie, a title screen just took up like the bottom fourth of the picture, and it was space. And
They were in space.
Wow, who would have fucking thought they'd be in motherfucking space? That blew my mind.
Hulk's intro was interesting, though, in the very beginning, because they're all getting their asses handed to them, and all of a sudden, we have a Hulk.
Yeah.
Wham! Right in the face.
But yeah, Loki was the one who said that line. That was pretty good, nice callback there.
Yeah.
This is all out of order. We're jumping all over the fucking place. Oh, who cares?
That doesn't matter. We'll do a better one later. This is all just talk right now. I think it's good.
So yeah, the
Captain America, his intro was also very badass, because you know it's him because you can see his figure, and then he comes out of the shadows with that fucking sexy ass beard. I'm sorry, that is a glorious beard. Not big and bushy and crazy, but it is a good looking beard.
I disagree. I think Captain America's intro to the movie was one of the weakest ones.
Oh, weak, yes, but still cool nonetheless.
I disagree. But how did he get there? How did he know to be in that exact fucking spot? Because they literally just crashed through the ceiling. It was a fight with, it was Wanda and the Vision were fighting two of Thanos' henchmen. They were being thrown all over the city, and they crashed into a building which had a train running through it for some fucking reason. And then Captain America and his buddies were just there.
But it was mentioned though when Strange and Stark were there in Strange's house or whatever mansion. Who's tracking Vision?
Who could track Vision?
Who could track Vision? Who could find him? Steve Rogers.
Yeah, but
so
still.
It's kind of like, it's very hand wave, and I agree it's very weak. But I just think, physically speaking, his actual appearance in there was cool looking. Why it happened? Yes, it's a little weak.
All right, but let's talk about the weakest part of the movie. Okay, so I think we both agree that the weakest part of the movie was when, near the very end, when the awesome fight is happening on the alien planet Titan, and everyone's getting their ass handed to them by Thanos after their initial plan falls apart because Peter Quill's a fucking retard. I think the worst part in the movie, and I think you'll agree, is when Doctor Strange just gives up the stone in exchange for Tony's life. Earlier, several points in the movie, they had made a point for Doctor Strange to call out, saying that the stone was more important than anyone else. He in fact spells it out to Tony earlier on that if the choice came down to the stone or anyone else, he would choose to protect the stone.
Exactly.
So Mr. Tony Stark just gets fucking stabbed in the gut. Spoiler alert, he gets stabbed.
Yeah, I almost cried a little bit.
Yeah, he was shaking. He was shaking.
I was so angry.
So, as Tony Stark lays there about to die, Doctor Strange is just like, yo, Thanos,
Here you go.
I'll give you the stone if you let him live. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Congratulations, asshole. You fucking ruined it.
The only thing, and I was mentioning this to you in the theater, the only thing that and it's again a very, very weak, pulling at straws kind of idea here, but the only thing I can think of is Doctor Strange, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch. He, in the beginning of his movie of Doctor Strange, he was very, very set on saving people's lives. He did one that he was arrogant and he was an asshole, but he saved people's lives, and that's what he cared about. So, I mean, I could see it as maybe being a throwback to that, because it's still kind of in him.
Yeah, but in his same movie, Doctor Strange was the one to find a third option, an out-of-the-box option when it came to dealing with Dormammu. He was the one who locked Dormammu in a time loop, and I can't see why didn't he lock Thanos in a time loop?
Well, the thing about this, though, with the Infinity Stones he already had, I'm sure there was probably a way for him to overpower and counter, because he has the reality stone. He didn't have the time stone, and I get it. Doctor Strange could have used the time stone to reverse time. However, Thanos already had the reality stone. Boom. Like, there's an immediate counter right there. I don't know the validity of that. I don't know the real true power there, which would be better than the other, because they both work in very different ways. But the time loop thing could stall him, you would think.
Or, you know,
the Reality Stone, I think, is the only counter, so that's why that wouldn't have worked. And that may be also why he did what he did. He realized that saving everyone's current life that was in that scene was more important because they stood a better chance or stand a better chance of doing something about it if they're all alive. And he might have come to that conclusion despite it all and said, okay, here, have it, let's figure this in. Because he said it then, we're in the end game now.
Yeah, like that wasn't an answer.
He almost played it. No, it's not an answer. It's stupid and it's weak, but that's the only thing I can think of. I'm trying to rationalize it in any way.
Yeah, but the movie doesn't address it at all. The movie basically says, yeah, he just hands the time stone over. There's nothing he could have done. I'm like, it's the time stone. He can manipulate time. He could make Thanos a baby or something. I don't fucking know. We're probably gonna jump here. Oh, that's a really bright green light.
Yeah, it is.
We're gonna jump there. Two things more about the movie that I really wanted to mention. My biggest disappointment was that no, the Defenders aren't in it. No, none of the Marvel TV show characters are in it. None of them. There's no reference to them at all. They don't show up, and I highly doubt that there's gonna be any interaction. I would have fucking loved for the Ghost Rider, for Ghost Rider to show up and in the middle of this Wakanda invasion start burning the fucking shit out of the alien dogs.
Even if I get it, it's going to return, there's going to be another one. I think it would have been even awesome if at the very end, in the credit scene, you just see... Now, I saw what happened to Nick Fury. It sucks, but if he would have gathered, say, Coulson, the team, and Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, if Robbie Reyes fucking showed up right at the end to be like, oh, something's going down and it just happened, we need to fix this. Yeah. And then it ends. Like, that would be amazing, but no.
Yeah, there's no way. Marvel has made it very clear that they don't care about their TV shows in connection to the movie.
Well, they really don't.
They tied in season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. well, but ever since then they've been falling flat. Yeah. The other thing, I really liked that the Red Skull was in it.
Yeah, dude. I had to go put butter on my popcorn because I was just getting tired of this stale taste.
Butter his popcorn.
Yeah, and I come back and he says, oh, it's a Red Skull. I'm like, oh, somebody just looks like him, and I look up at the screen and he's fucking there.
It's a Red Skull. It's been like, what, fucking 10 years or so since we last seen you? Like 8 years? It's been a while. Yeah. It has been some fucking time since we last saw him, and he's here. He shows up in one scene. He's the guardian of the Soul Stone in a way.
Oh no, is there enough room? There's enough room for
there's enough room.
Oh yes, this is gonna be glorious.
We're parking now. This fucking asshole couldn't move forward a foot.
I was so afraid of not having a place to park right now.
He's
tough.
So Red Skull is the guardian of the Soul Stone. He's the one who tells Thanos about the other character death that I kind of predicted, because I predicted 3 character deaths. I thought Loki was going to die because I didn't really see a whole lot of him in the trailer. I thought Vision was going to die because he has the Mind Stone. Obviously, he's a target. And I thought Gamora would die because Gamora was in a lot of trailers, and to me, that raised a lot of red flags. So when the time for Thanos to collect the Soul Stone came up, Red Skull tells him, yeah, you need to kill someone you love in order to get the Soul Stone. And Thanos cries.
Yeah, you see a tear, which kind of confused me. I'm going to apologize for how loud my car is right now, by the way.
So Gamora goes into this little rant about how Thanos doesn't love anything, and then Red Skull's like, well, he loves you.
Prepare for the light. We may as well have our... beautiful faces. Oh, that's going to be bad on the video.
Oh, that's going to look terrible.
That's going to be bad on the video.
Look at that. Holy shit. Look at that ugly little motherfucker.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Thanos takes Gamora and throws her into a hole after she puts up token resistance. He turns her knife into bubbles, which I thought was kind of...
That was the whole thing. He did that to Quill, too.
Yeah, he turned the gun
into a bubble maker. I was like,
it was pretty fun. Fuck? It was pretty funny. So he kills Gamora. That was the other character death. So all of my character death predictions were correct.
I think the only really unpredictable ones was Heimdall, but then again, he could have done some things, but...
Oh, wait, I was wrong.
I didn't expect Heimdall, and I didn't expect Gamora. I'm not surprised, but I didn't expect it. Loki, I kind of expected because it's just how he is. He's kind of dumb, but then again, he might still find some way to come back because that's what he does.
There was one other character predicted. I predicted that Captain America was dead because for the longest time I had heard rumors that Chris Evans wanted to leave.
Yeah, he wanted to be done.
And I thought that this was the movie he wanted to bow out from, and that he would be dead at the end of it. So I thought that would have been a good prediction to make. So he was the other character, so I was wrong.
Either retiring or died.
3 out of 4, though. That's not bad. I correctly predicted the death of 3 out of the 4 characters.
As much as I hate to say it, I kind of expected Stark to die. He is absolutely quintessential to the whole MCU, but he's had his run. He's done so many things, just like Chris Evans, and I would expect them to have retired. But who knows? Neither one of them died. Now, there's a lot of people that fizzled away. A ton of them fizzled away. You know,
yeah, a whole bunch of people at the end after Thanos snaps his fingers. People just start melting, including Peter Parker.
Yeah,
they killed Spider-Man at the very end.
Yeah,
they killed they killed a whole bunch of people.
They disintegrated them.
They melt. They turn into dust.
Yeah.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah,
it was very tear-inducing. I could feel the rage in the theater at the very end of the film as everyone starts dying. The entire theater got fucking silent. Mm-hmm. Up until then, there was muttering. There was muttering in the back seats. You could hear people talking, and then nothing. Everyone started melting away into dust, and the entire theater just got angry. Yeah. And you could feel it all around you. It was quite the sensation, I have to say. It was very interesting.
Yeah, side note, I think I'm just going to call this video First Thoughts, and then we can actually sit down and watch it again and do a real review.
That might be interesting.
I think that's a good idea.
Let's pause it there. And now, quick jump to the end of the film.
Yes. As if we haven't been jumping anyway.
The end scene, it pissed. There was some dude. Oh. Okay, so in order. Wow, I look crazy fat from that angle.
Yeah, you might want to just see what you're looking at.
I look crazy fat from any angle. I'm crazy fat. So at the end of the film, there was only one after credit sequence, and it's with Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Driving. They talk about the Battle of Wakanda. They're detecting it. And then the car in front of them crashes. The dude inside of it's missing. And they all start
disintegrating. Yeah,
everyone's around that starts disintegrating. A helicopter falls out of the sky,
crashes into the building.
Boom! There's panic. And as he goes to push this button on this device, he also starts disintegrating. And the fucking part that got everyone in the theater to immediately get pissed off was when he started to say "motherfucker" and he disappeared mid-fucker.
Yeah, motherfucker.
And I heard other people in the theater going, "What the shit?" It was great. There was so much palpable rage at that moment where we were denied the motherfucker.
Yeah.
It was great.
Because it's Samuel L. Jackson, though. Come on. Like, that is totally him. Like, you do not have him without him saying motherfucker at some point. At all. Like, that's just how it happens.
Yeah, so we were denied the Jackson.
Yeah.
Some other good parts of the film, I think, that got a really emotional response was Vision dying twice.
Yeah, twice, theoretically.
The whole theater got quiet for that.
He got really close to dying numerous times. He definitely died at the end.
Got stabbed.
But yeah, there was the one time where he looked really close. I don't think he actually died twice. He just got very close numerous times.
Well, he died once when he exploded. And then he was put back together again and then killed right away.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because of the time stone.
Now, about the Vision, he was basically out of commission the entire movie. He was stabbed in his introduction scene by one of the dudes.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
He
was stabbed in his introduction scene, and he was basically just hobbling around the rest of the film. He didn't really provide much. Also, Ant-Man and Hawkeye weren't around at all. They had mentioned offhand that they weren't around.
It was like a witness protection thing because they didn't want to go to jail and blah, 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 blah because of everything that happened. Because everybody's a war criminal.
Yeah. Those guys weren't around, which is great because I don't think Hawkeye would have assisted much.
No, well, he would have, but...
He would have shot an arrow at Thanos and it would have melted.
He would have been just as useful as Black Widow.
And how useful was she?
Not really at all. Like, she was cool.
She was there.
Cool. She was there and she assisted. She had lighter blonde hair.
She was backup.
Yeah.
She was, okay, we're going to fight this alien chick alongside the one chick from Black Panther. What's her name? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either. Yeah,
I hate that entire cast of characters.
Yeah, all in all, I think it's a good time to come up with a little bit of a conclusion here, I suppose. Let's ask a couple questions. One, do we think that the movie was put together pretty well?
Yes.
Absolutely. I think that everything happened very well. Everybody got introduced. We all know who they are, so they were just thrown into the mix. We know who they were, and boom, they're there, and we move on to the next. Now, it was put together well. Now, do you think that everybody's character arcs were portrayed correctly?
No, there were some that I really think could have been a lot better, especially
Doctor Strange,
especially Doctor Strange and the Vision, because again, he really didn't do anything throughout the entire film. He just kind of hobbled. Right. My question to you is, do you think the movie felt a bit rushed?
Yes, and I was expecting that though, because the movie like that, there's so much to do in that movie, and when they first said that they were gonna cram it all into one movie, it was supposed to be Infinity War Part 1 and 2. They threw that to the side and said it was one movie, and I immediately was like, okay, that's gonna suck. Not as an entire movie, but because there was so much going on. I think for what they did pretty well though. I think they threw it together pretty well. It was rushed though.
With the ending there, with Thanos just standing by himself, do you think that was a good ending?
No. No.
Everyone in the theater was so angry.
I heard many vulgarities proclaimed.
There was a lot of swearing there, and then the credits started rolling, and then we got the after-credits scene. Yeah.
So speaking of, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the actual ending, and where do you think it's going to go from here?
On the Thanos ending, I think it was a good ending. I'm a big reader of Marvel's older comics, not so much their new stuff because. Anywho, so taking off of the Infinity Gauntlet, which is part of the series that this movie is based off of, the entire Infinity Quest, Thanos Quest, etc., etc. The Avengers lose in the comic. They all die, basically. Adam Warlock shows up and saves their asses, yada, 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 by attacking them with a bunch of cosmic gods. Anywho, so the Marvel fans knew going into this that the Avengers would not likely win against Thanos. They didn't think they had a chance. So I also didn't think that. Now, I'm not sure, since Adam Warlock doesn't exist in the MCU, and the cosmic entities that the comic had also haven't really been shown a whole lot.
Vaguely referenced to.
But like Galactus, he belongs to the Fantastic Four, and I think they got them back, actually. So maybe Galactus might show up. But in the comics, Thanos was defeated by himself.
Yeah.
What happened was he ascended to godhood, and Nebula grabbed the gauntlet off of his body. Yeah. And then she just reset everything. Nebula was still alive at the end of this movie, so maybe that will happen. Maybe Nebula will pull it off.
And what do you think then? What do you think then of his last little phone call at the end? Well, not phone call, but it almost looked like it's just a weird futuristic pager. You know who it was. You saw the sign.
Yeah, that was Captain Marvel. Yeah. They're going to call her in. I know her movie is soon.
Well, we knew about the movie. We knew that it was going to happen, but that little reference there at the end, I thought that was very, very cool.
Yeah, so maybe I thought her movie was supposed to take place in the past around time. I mean, point is, we know that Captain Marvel's coming, so that's probably the call for her to be in Infinity War Part 2.
Yeah, they're probably gonna have that movie and then Infinity War into the next one. So
yeah, I think Ant-Man is next.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ant-Man is next, then Captain Marvel, and then Infinity War Part 2. So we actually have a very short timeline to the conclusion of the story. There's not a whole lot of time left, so hopefully by this time next year we'll have the answer. How does Thanos get defeated?
Yeah.
So yeah, all in all, I'd say it's a very good movie.
Yes, very good movie.
Those of you who have been holding out for this to be an excellent experience, you're going to leave the theater with a lot of
questions
and emotions and theories, because there was...
We'll do a separate video on theories specifically. Like, we'll actually kind of plan that out a little bit more and talk about our theories and actually have a little short clip on that, as well as a more comprehensive review instead of just, final thoughts after the movie here. I think that would be a good idea. Like, it'd be something for fun for us to do.
Yeah, let's sit down sometime and do that.
Yeah.
All right, so, again, I'm Numbertwo Zeldafan.
I am the Thrift Shop Gamer.
And we're here in the Trash Can. So we hope you guys have a great day.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye. Favorite part of the film.
Something that was failed to be mentioned, actually.
Yeah. My favorite part of the film was when they were fighting in Wakanda and Bucky picks up Rocket Raccoon and starts waving him around like its own little gun. They drop down, they have an exchange, yada yada. What do you want for that gun? Nothing. And then Rocket Raccoon just kind of mutters to himself, "I'm getting that arm," and the entire theater lost it at that part.
Oh, and how he gave the eye to Thor.
Yeah, that was a nice little callback.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one.
Yeah, I showed up. It was fun.
Yeah. Boop. But anyway, that is it. Later, guys.